Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. Michael Zuber, one rental at a time. It is the Three Amigos, and topic number three is going to be an interesting one. We are going to interview each other about some of the last deals we've done. So I believe I'm up first, but first, let's welcome them to the table. How you doing, Dion?
I'm doing great, Mike. Howdy. I'm ready for round three.
Yep. And Matt, how are you?
I'm doing great. Questions get tougher from here, Michael.
It's okay. I think I can handle it. Say, yeah, I've been in negotiations on $100 million contracts. I think I could talk about it.
We'll see how you handle this one, pal.
All right. Well, let's just start with the Tiger. Go ahead, Mr. Matt. What do you want to know?
All right, let's talk about the last deal. Walk me through it.
Yeah. So the last deal
that we care about, right?
Yeah. Let's talk about the last deal I did. It was actually a fixer. It was 3 houses on one lot. It was actually found via it was actually a relationship that I didn't even know I created a year and a half ago. So here's the story. A wholesaler locks up this property at $250,000. They think they can sell it for $300,000. So they were getting a $50,000 assignment fee. They locked it up, strung the seller, asked for an extension, tried to get it, didn't happen. Seller says, I'm done. Seller reached out to me and said, Michael, you may not remember this, but you bought a property of mine on 4th Street. I have this triplex on Washington. Are you interested? That was essentially his email. And this is all email because he doesn't speak great English. It's tough. So everything was email. I say, of course I am. Thank you. I still have the one on 4th. I like it. Of course I would look at this. He goes, here's the property address. Tell me what you would offer. I, of course, know from my negotiations, the first person to name a number loses. So I tried to get around that. He did not budge. So I'm like, okay, well, let me figure out what we have. And it truly is 3 houses on one lot, different meters, different everything. So not shared anything. Awesome. It's like a 3/4 acre lot. So it's like 1,600 square feet, triple lot, almost triple lot. 2 houses are rather small. One's like tiny at 500 square feet. The other one's 6. Let's call it 700. And then there is a big one. It's almost 1,400 square feet. So 14, 7, and 500. But legit houses, separate parking. The small house is in the back. There's it's already a paved path to it. So really feels like separate houses. And again, I don't like naming a number. And this again is in late 2020. So again, I'm forced to do something I don't want to do. So I tell them $50,000 a door. 150. I wanted a reaction. I didn't think I'd get it for 150. I was just like, if I got to name a number, I'm going to name something stupid. So 150. He comes back and goes, oh my God, I can't do it. I had these locked up at 250 and the guy couldn't perform. So he's looking at $100,000 haircut from what I offered. He goes, I'll get back to you. I'm like, okay. He gets back to me the next day and he goes, so I thought about it. I really don't want to handle them. 2 of the houses were rough, like immediate work kind of stuff. He goes, could you do 175? I'm like, $60,000 a door? Originally, I'm like, hell yeah, I could do $60,000 a door, 175. And I said, of course, I'll get back to you. All right. Because I didn't want him to realize that I was that eager. So we hemmed and hawed a little bit over email the next day or so, but at the end, I tried to get him lower. It turns out 175 was his bottom line. We got the deal done. So now we buy the house. We bought it cash because this would not finance. 2 houses were not in any condition to finance. And oh, by the way, they were occupied.
Oh,
yuck. And oh, by the way, COVID. Right. Yeah. So at this time in my market, I think for the first couple of months, I did nothing because you couldn't evict for any reason, which I didn't really want to because I was trying to figure out what was going on. Then it got to a point where COVID kind of let up and you could evict for a remodel. And again, 2 of these houses were wrecked. Like I wouldn't want people living there, but wasn't my call. Mm-hmm. So we gave them 60 days. I think I ended up giving one 90 days. I paid for their move or at least paid a portion of their move because I was going to do full remodels. Right. So each of those small houses, I estimated 15 grand. One took 18, one took 12. So combined, hit the number almost to the penny. I did those. And then 6 months later, I did the big house. The big house, it was a 3. I made it a 4. I think it took I think I netted or estimated 21. It took 23. So I was off by 10%. But here's the deal. I initially thought that the property would rent for what was 7, 8, 11. So originally it was 26. It actually ended up renting for 3,400. Because again, it was about a year from when I bought to when I finally moved in the third tenant after doing three full remodels.
Just in case it's
26, you got
somebody's,
36.
Yeah.
if it's somebody's first time to your channel and they've never heard you talk before, what market are you in?
Oh, I'm sorry. Fresno. I just assume everybody knows. Fresno, California, Central Valley.
Okay. But you can't buy houses in California. They can't.
Yeah, just keep believing that. I do not need any more competition. Yeah, but no, I built my entire portfolio, 99% of it out of the multiple listing service. I retired on multiple listing service buying in Fresno, California. It's a wonderful market, million people, average income up, average. It's the largest city, not on the coast. Fresno has some amazing things going for it. People that say you can't buy in California. There's another channel out there talking about the California exodus and all this nonsense. California is a huge state with lots of great markets. Yes, San Francisco, crazy expensive. LA, crazy. Fresno, great. Inland Empire, great. Kern County, great. I mean, there's so much. California is just an amazing state. There's so many great places to buy in.
So have you looked at the math of cost to acquire? You paid cash, so cash and closing costs. Carrying costs for the months that you had, but you don't really have a mortgage, so those aren't as bad as they could be. And then the make ready expense versus cash flow.
Yeah, so I've actually, it's been so long, the reason I picked this one is I've just done the BRRRR or the exit and gotten out 98% of my cash, including the carrying costs. So I left 2% in. And my cash flow after everything, including paying a property manager, is $1,200 a month. So this is just a gargantuan return. It's hundreds and hundreds of percentage points.
Beautiful.
Yeah. But again, this is not something I would recommend for, it's BRRRR of this type is not for the first timer. 3 houses, middle of COVID, 2 of them needed immediate help. The third one could have been limped along, which is why I did it last. I did things that I didn't have to do. I paid for tenants to move. Right. I didn't have to do that, but I did. I believe in good karma. And typically speaking, unless you are mean, lie, or steal from me first, I will likely bend over backwards. But
well, there's the one other aspect too, that you don't legally have to help them move.
No, I don't.
But you currently don't know if cement has been poured down the drain.
Correct.
If water's been left on and drains have been plugged for the weeks that it took them to move out. But when they go, this person is helping us move. And a tip that I usually recommend for people when you do that is I help pay the deposit on where they're ending up.
Yeah.
That way they don't have the chance of taking your money and staying.
Oh, yeah, of course.
But when they realize you're a decent person and you actually are trying to help them, their exit is a lot easier on both sides.
Absolutely. Yeah. Much smoother, great communication. Again, something else, unlike the two of you, this was all done for me via property manager, so they don't even know who I am. But yeah, my property manager communicates with the owner, wants to do this, the owner's doing this. And again, that allows me to feel like a good person, which is important. But again, if they were to lie, cheat, or steal, I'd be like, okay, I know an attorney and I know how to fix that too. But thankfully, I've learned over time, if you're good to people, most people will be good to you. And I got a great deal. Again, there's a wholesaler that locked it up at $250. If COVID didn't hit, that probably sells for $300,000 and he gets his 50K fee. In reality, as it sits today, it's probably worth $400. Right. And I had about 250 in it, right? Purchase plus repair plus holding. And I got like 242 out of it. So I got like $8,000 left in it. It's nothing.
It's awesome.
Beautiful.
Yep. So that's my deal. Who's going next?
Eeny, meeny, money.
God, yeah.
Dion is next.
So you guys have a choice. My last deal, which is in the binder strategy in the course,
Okay.
or my first investment property.
I want to do the first one.
Okay.
All right. Tell us about the first one. And what market are you in?
Washington State. I say all my units are near Tacoma and Olympia, but not in Tacoma or Olympia.
Okay. Fair enough.
So
Are there any other cities in Washington? I'm not sure. But just kidding. I have no idea.
it's like all of California is San Francisco and LA.
Exactly.
Kern County doesn't
Exactly.
exist.
Exactly. Fair enough.
So I owned a single family house and purchased a duplex as a house hack. My first actual investment property where I did an investment down payment was a duplex
Awesome.
from the MLS,
What year?
2014.
Okay. All right. So that's a good time.
Yep. So prices were going up, and starting in 2013, everybody was saying prices have finally gone above where they were in 2008. Nobody should buy because they're going to crash or correct. So there's no way you can profitably buy a property
Yeah.
now.
8 years ago, don't buy because it's going to crash. Yeah.
Correct.
Good luck, jokers.
And in case he watches this video, including my brother, who retired on real estate and has 10 paid off properties, he was telling me, "Don, you're using a mortgage? What is wrong with you?" So,
Yeah. Dave Ramsey.
It's awesome.
exactly. My brother's name is Dave. That's funny. I never put that together. So, yeah,
It's Dave's.
It's the
All
Dave
Dave's.
Ramsey.
If your name's Dave, no, I'm just kidding.
you're out. Right?
You're out. Dave Ramsey.
Yeah. It took 2 years to save the down payment. Did 20% down on I offered 300
Okay.
for the duplex.
Nice.
Rents were 800 and 900.
Oh, so okay, 1,700 rent, 300K purchase.
Correct. Mortgage.
That's not the 1% rule, Dion.
No, it's not. And at the purchase, the mortgage was going to be, I think it was 1640. So current rents and my
Wow.
mortgage were a wash.
That's
So
not,
investors
that's
who
not
say
good.
use current rents would say, don't buy that deal.
Mhm.
An investor friend of mine who has 30 units and is financially free told me, don't buy that deal. I said, that's not a good deal. But I knew the area average rents.
You did the work.
Area average rents at the time were above 1,400. So I knew I would, with confidence, get 1,250.
Okay.
And that gave me my return that I wanted.
Absolutely. It got you a lot more. Also, to use bigger pockets, famous thing, it got you closer to the 1% rule.
Actually, and what's funny is not one of my deals has hit the 1% rule,
Yeah.
but all of my deals have been better than 10% cash on cash.
I wish people would hear that over and over. If you're getting 10%, just stop looking at the 1% rule. It is so dangerous.
That'll be my video that comes out Sunday that I just thought of. It's going to be titled "The Flaw with the 1% Rule." I've said it in 100 Facebook groups. I don't know why I've never made that video. So
I look
I
forward to that.
suspect it's laziness.
No, lazy.
I would guarantee it's lazy. If you talk to my family, I'm the most lazy person we all know.
That's funny. Okay.
So 1,250 was your actual. Okay.
Yep.
1,250 outside was your actual
Planned.
planned.
Was my goal for
Yeah.
rent.
Yep.
Negotiated. The seller accidentally told me that he was in the middle of a 1031 exchange.
Ooh.
And this was a property that I purchased. 3 of my properties have gotten this way. I make the offer. I get told we have accepted a higher offer. I reply, and this is all through agents. I use an agent every time so far. And I send back a letter or a notification saying, I would like to be in second position in case the first offer falls through due to funding or they pull out or whatever reason, my offer stands.
Yep.
So I offer 300, they took 3 something.
Okay.
That fell through. Seller told me we meet. He comes to the inspection. So seller and me are talking face to face. And he's the big investor who's going to teach the new investor, because I only had at the time 3 units and was adding 4 and 5.
Okay.
That'll cost them.
Appreciate the help. It was great. He was telling me how a 1031 exchange works that he's in.
I am up against the clock, my friend.
Because it was accepted and fell through, and now they've accepted me, and we're days into his timeline.
Oh, yeah.
So my 300 became 290.
Oh,
And the person who has the ability to walk away has the power.
absolutely.
That's right.
I think you were kind giving him 290, but okay.
290 was agreed on.
Yeah.
And he now lives in Idaho. He 1031 into a bigger
Yeah.
duplex there. And so his
Good for
life is
him.
great.
Yeah, good for him.
I waited 2 months to do the binder strategy. So I did have those 2 months at 800 and 900 rent.
Yeah, so you were breaking even. Best case.
But, right. But something that a lot of new investors forget is we calculate that first year is what is my yield if I get all my rents and I have all my expenses, but you have a gap month.
You do.
That first month you close in the middle. So you get the prorated rents for however much was left that month.
Mhm.
You get the next month's rent without a mortgage.
Mhm.
So even though I was breaking even, that month was profit.
Okay.
Second month, end of second month, I do the binder strategy.
Mhm.
Both rents go to 1350.
Ooh, an extra $200.
Both of those rents now are significantly higher.
What are they today?
Oh man, it's way over there.
1,800?
No, not that high. I think it's 1650 and 1700.
So
One does 17 because the other one
It's fine.
The other one mows the whole lawn, so they get a bit of a break,
That's fine.
but really it was 50 more, so they didn't have to mow the lawn.
There you go.
Yeah, so it's 1650, 1700.
Wow,
I
okay.
refinanced
And it helped.
from 5.5 to 3.1.
Oh, score.
Payment now 1200 a month.
So the payment goes down 400, rents are up $900 or whatever.
Correct. Yeah. So
That's
now
not, that doesn't suck.
no, that property does not suck.
Yeah.
And so first year I broke my 10% cash on cash return.
Oh yeah, easy.
But the time in the market beats timing the market. I purchased a property when everybody said prices are going too high. You can no longer buy. You should wait for the crash, wait for the correction. And now that one property is making what? 1,400 take home after setting aside for repairs, maintenance, and vacancy and everything.
And what did you need again? What did you make as a police officer? You always tell me and I forget.
Oh, as a police officer, my take home was 2,600 a month when I had a mortgage.
So again, I hope people hear this. That one property now is half of what you used to make as a police officer, net.
Yeah, because that's after taxes too,
Yeah.
because of depreciation and write-ups. I haven't paid any taxes on that. And that's
Crazy.
It's
One
that's what
property.
one property, one duplex, and time.
Yep. In time.
You include time in that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So
awesome.
that was my first investment purchase and why I've continued to make purchases since.
I'm so glad we talked about it. I always like that first one. That's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. All right, big dog.
All right, here we go.
Okay, we want to hear about the Lambo.
Yeah, I want to hear about the Lambo property.
We're not
Yes.
talking about the Lambo property yet. I still
Why not?
finishing all the math. I gotta finish all the math.
So what?
I gotta finish. The math isn't right yet. The math isn't right yet. I haven't figured it out yet.
Which one are we going to do? We'll do the
We're
Lambo one next
We're gonna do
week.
the one right before the Lambo property.
Okay,
Right
which is,
before
which is
MLS deal. So I'm
What?
not cheating with a wholesale deal. Not that Mike cheated. I'm just know that we do deals out of MLS.
Oh yeah,
right?
all the time. Yeah.
A majority of the deals we still do are out of MLS.
Agreed.
So no excuses, because I don't want to hear in the thread. I don't want to see in the notes. Well, you guys get wholesale deals. Yeah, we literally wait for our phones to ring.
Yeah.
Yeah. Doesn't happen.
I
So
wrote 3 offers this morning.
Yeah.
Stop.
MLS deal, number one. Number two is this property was on market for more than 30 days before I saw it for the first time.
Oh, before
How
you
did that
saw it
happen?
the first time.
Yep. Because I'm smarter than you. I work harder than you. And that's why I did this deal.
No, but hold on. So, but again, though,
These-
it's,
How did
We're
you
gonna-
miss it for 30 days?
yeah, how did you miss it for 30 days? Not in your buy box?
because it was higher priced. It was
Okay.
higher priced and it was sitting there, and it didn't even do a price. It did a very small price reduction.
So you saw it after the price drop, probably.
It was a single family house. It really wasn't something I was truly tracking.
Holy shit! You bought a single family home.
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
And
Now you
here's
got
why.
my attention.
Yeah. So here's why I bought a single family home. So we'll cover the numbers and then I'll.
And
talk about it.
actually, people may not be first time catching the Three Amigos. He hasn't bought a single family home in a while. He's the duplex through quad guy who just bought a 13 unit.
Yeah.
So I'm
Yeah, I've
very
never
I
bought
haven't
single
bought
family
a
as an
single
investor.
family without the purpose of flipping it
Hmm.
or living in it for 5 years, 6 years. It's been a
Wow.
long time.
All right.
Yeah,
Okay.
been a
All
long
right.
time.
I'm intrigued.
So MLS was 180.
So that's the list price after the price drop.
Yep.
Okay.
180
180.
after the price drop. I get it done for 160.
Ooh. Was that your first offer or was that after inspections or?
My first offer was 150.
Of course it was.
Yeah.
I
I
love
was like,
this
well,
stuff.
you know, the way I look at houses in this market, they're like milk. They're not like fine wine. They're
Yes.
not getting better with age.
Agreed.
So you might want to work with me.
So did you write it up or did you just have your agent whisper it to the other
Agent.
one?
Yeah,
Yeah.
agent. So I had him write up the 150.
Okay.
That way they knew I was serious.
Yeah.
And that we could do a deal if they just agreed.
Okay.
And I think that the whisper number can work against you,
No, I agree.
because if you put the effort in and you put a paper in front of them and it's actually an offer that's presented,
It forces a
now they have
reaction.
something to act on. They have something to think about. It's not just, what do you mean he offered 150? What is he, a jerk?
Yeah. Cheapskate.
He is
Yeah.
charged.
Yeah, exactly. Been
So we ended on 160.
I like that. So again, you come in at 150, they go F you, we'll give you 170. Then you meet in the middle, 160 kind of.
Yep.
Okay.
Exactly. Yep.
All right.
Yep. And the only other thing that I threw in, because what was important to them was that they were leaving the house after all their kids had left, they were retired, they were getting out. And so they had a bunch of crap.
Mhm.
And so I said, and I will throw in a dumpster.
Okay. So that was it. Again, the one thing that you do better than anybody else is you listen to what's important, because most people assume it's price.
It's not.
You have your agent ask all the time. And sometimes it's just price. But most of the time it's not. They want a dumpster. They want to stay through Christmas. They want, whatever. You do an amazing job of that.
Thank you. Appreciate that. They wanted 90 days.
Okay.
And they had a bunch of crap that they had to get rid of. And I said, I'll make that easier for you. I'll give you a dumpster.
You just said something that most people are going to miss. They wanted 90 days.
Yep.
Most offers they get from idiots who watch YouTube University, I'm going to give you cash and close in 10 days.
Right.
That's not what they wanted, folks.
That was literally, they admitted, they said, really, you'll give us the 90 days? And I was like, sure.
Yeah, what do I care?
Did you do a holdback?
Nope.
You just didn't close.
Well, no, because we weren't closing. We
Yeah,
didn't, because we pushed off the closing.
You just closed.
Okay.
And so I said to them, they literally told me at the closing table, we were having heart palpitations with the offers that we were getting about, get out in 20 days and get out in 14 days and get out in 30 days.
Yeah, people didn't listen.
No,
They'll give you a
ask.
discount. Yeah.
They didn't ask, and people aren't going to volunteer information. It's a
Yeah.
game of telephone. Me to my agent to their agent to them. Then back
Ask.
the other way, them to their agent to my agent to me.
I got to ask that more. I have to train myself to train my agents that I work with to ask that question.
Gotta ask. You're leaving money on the table. You're losing deals.
Yeah,
Like this.
You didn't even have to be the highest price. You probably
even
weren't
close.
the highest price.
I wasn't even close
because you
they
listened.
had a deal at 190 that fell apart, and they could have rescued that deal at 160. They just didn't, because it was too much of like a horrible situation. What are we doing? This is throwing us up. Oh, this is so scary. So
That's
we
amazing.
did 160 down payment, $32,000.
So you got a bank loan.
Yep. Oh yeah. Yep. Mortgage 128K. 4% mortgage at the time.
30-year fixed.
30-year fixed. Yep.
Smart man.
Taxes 4,500.
Your taxes are nuts.
They're nuts, dude.
Fuck crazy,
No,
man.
no
Different
income
single
tax, but
family,
Yeah, we gotta
wow.
make it somewhere.
Yeah. So again, you paid 160. Taxes for me on that in California would probably be 1,900.
I was gonna say like $2,000. Yep.
Yeah.
I was gonna
Same
say
in Washington. I'd be little less than that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Pretty
Makes
crazy.
sense.
Wow.
Yeah.
4,500.
Insurance $1,200.
Yeah.
So with a 30-year fixed, pity, principal, interest, taxes, insurance was $1,086.52.
So let's call it 1,100.
Okay.
It's so funny. My single family house, when I had a mortgage on it, was 1,088. Like, what are the odds? Not
What are the
close.
odds? You guys are-
$2. That's
Yeah.
awesome. And so what was really interesting about this property, and the reason why this is a 2,490 square foot property. I'm like, that is a really large 120 or 100-year-old single family house. It was built in 1920. I was like,
amazing.
that's really large. And if it's a New Englander, they didn't build them like that. So expertise, I do a little bit of searching. It's zoned as a duplex. They actually took out a door, and they made it they had a big family with 5 kids. So they took out a door. It was a duplex. So I look at it, zone duplex. It is a duplex.
It's
They
got
just took out a door and
two
used it as a
panels and-
family.
2
How
panels.
bad is the realtor
Oh yeah.
that listed this as a single family home? Number one. Number two is, can I have the house now, please? Like,
Yeah.
the numbers are ridiculous. So the way we broke it down is now our get ready costs. So we're going to put some money in it. It didn't have to have this stuff. It really could have done paint and a little bit of flooring and that sort of stuff. But I'm like, you know what? We're going to do it. Let's do it right.
Well, you had to add a second kitchen, right?
Yep.
So really, so you have to seal it off,
Yep.
which sounds like a doorway, not a big
Yep.
deal.
It's
You
just
do
a
need to
doorway.
add a second kitchen. That's not cheap, but
Yep.
the plumbing's probably already there, assuming they didn't rip it out. They probably just sealed it beyond the plaster or drywall, right?
They did.
So no new bathrooms because those are probably still there.
Mhm.
You maybe need to do a different entryway because maybe they
Entryway is good. I actually just added a second door
Okay.
on an entryway.
they
'cause
come
it
up
was
through
a
the front.
duplex.
Okay.
So through the front, stairs up, and I put a door up here and then door down here.
Okay. All right. All right.
Yep.
So what make ready? I'm going to just wild guess it. 11.
So yes, we would be in that number, but So we were right around like you hit right in the middle of our range, 10 to 12.
Okay.
What we wanted to add to it was while we were doing the upstairs kitchen, we're like, let's just do the downstairs kitchen.
Oh yeah, makes sense.
And then we're like, you know what, while we're doing those, we're actually gonna sand and redo all the wood floors. I was
Wow.
like, we'll just make this that next level.
Yeah,
right?
just do it now.
It's
Okay.
too cheap. It's too cheap to not do this.
And
So,
again, they were moving, right? So you did one beauty about this house that will become a duplex is you didn't have any other tenants to worry about, right? You
Mhm.
take it, it's vacant.
Yep.
Just gut,
Vacant.
move on.
Yep.
I like it.
So 35K one-time cost.
Oh, 35. Okay. That makes
Yep.
sense.
So
So now you're into it 195.
I am.
Okay.
I am. And as complete, it appraised for 300
Here's 100 grand. Thank you very much.
with a 70% cash out refi at again 4% 30-year fix.
Yeah. So 210, you got
210.
all your money back.
I get all my money back. I get 82K back in my pocket. So I get deposit, I get make
Right.
ready, plus I make an extra 20,000 bucks in my pocket,
Eh,
get some extra beard oil.
beard oil. Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
so you,
Lasts a month.
and the best thing is
That's
the rent.
crazy. All right.
The
tell me.
2-bed is 1,400. The 4-bed, it's that big upstairs.
Oh, wow.
Second and third floor is 4-bed. It's $3,700 a month in rent. And my
Shut up.
adjust-
So 5,100 total or 3,700
so
total?
3,700 total, but my
Oh,
new
okay.
mortgage on 210 with taxes and insurance is 1,477. So I make 2,614 a month.
So even if you take out reserves and all that other stuff, you're
Yeah.
1,500 bucks on a negative because you don't have any money in the deal.
So that one property is exactly what I was making as a police officer take home.
Yeah.
So I will do, so year one return on capital is 46.8%.
Yeah. Year two's infinite.
Yeah. Year two is ridiculous.
And why isn't that the Lambo car?
Because the next deal I'm going to talk about
Is even better.
is better.
They're
It's even better. It's the returns. I believe the returns are going to be.
going to be a Lambo. So that's
in
all
the-
we need to
in
know.
the 80s. It's going to be ridiculous. And again, MLS deal, single family. I watch my market. I know what stuff is worth,
Yeah.
but I made the extra effort to look at the zoning, look at what it was, understand that you're typically not buying in that area. There are not 2,400, 2,500 square foot single.
Yeah.
family
They didn't
homes.
build them like that.
They didn't, they just didn't. And so second and third floor was its own unit. And then what's really funny is I could see this ripple in the wall. And I was like, that is a really weird ripple. It had vinyl siding on
Yeah.
it.
Because it was, yeah.
You know what it was?
Uh,
It was the side door for the upstairs unit.
there you go. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
funny.
Because I literally was like, I was trying to get the door open on the second floor, trying to get the door open. It's like the door's not opening. And they're like,
Because it's sealed
well,
up
just,
on the
they're
outside.
like, turn the knob. They're like, turn the knob. I was like, you want me to punch you? Turn the
Do you
knob.
not think
I'm
I
turning the
turned
knob. Were you watching my hand? And so what's really funny is they're like, oh yeah, it's closed. And I was like, was it a closet? And they're like, no, I think it goes to a set of stairs. You have a back set of stairs going to the second floor. Who does that? And that's what started the path of, I think this might have been a
Ding.
duplex. So 46.8% return. This is the last deal before the Lambo house.
Wow. Dude. Well, this was fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was a lot of fun. But here's the thing. It could have been like MLS, right?
Yeah.
MLS. The
Yeah.
thing had, I mean, I can even look it up. The thing, and my phone's about to die. The thing had like 400 and something views in the first week. It had like 1,500 views by the time I bought it.
Yeah. So there's so much in that, right? First off, again, I tell you, you do it better than anybody else I know. You asked the seller what was important. That's something I have to add. I got to train my agents to do that because you just never know what you'll uncover. Because we all think that price is it, cash, speed. All you wholesalers out there, you're not listening because that's not the most important thing sometimes.
What the most important thing was to them? Price was number 3.
Yeah, it's great.
Number 1 was I want more time. Number 2 was I don't even know how to go about, because they were in their 70s. I don't even know how to go about getting a dumpster.
Yeah,
Don't
I
worry
got
about
you.
it. I'll have one dropped off at your house, have your
Yeah.
kids show up and start filling it.
Yeah, gotcha.
That's it. And
That's
it was-
amazing.
And that cost me $650.
Easy. Yeah, you do
Just
it all the
helping.
time. Yeah.
Bridging the gap.
All right. Well, Dion, how can people find you? This was a fun episode.
It was. I think we should do this once in a while where we pick a different thing. I
Sure.
think a lot of the viewers have asked for deal deep dives on our deals.
Sure.
So they could see, how did we find it? How do we finance it? All that kind of stuff. You can find me right here on YouTube, Dion Talk Financial Freedom.
And Matt?
Lumberjack Landlord and Mrs. Lumberjack Landlord on YouTube tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern time. I actually haven't seen Ashley in a bit, so I'm very interested to hear what she has to say. She's been at the hospital with the baby, so I really haven't talked to her other than I gotta go.
Got it. Very cool. Well, take care. Have fun tonight.
Appreciate it.
Yep.